Hello and welcome to this CineBeards. I'm your host, Jason Musicant.
Hi, Jason!
With me as always are Deon
It's me!
and Markus Knafe.
Human man.
Now what we got this week for you is something a little interesting.
We didn't even interrupt him this time.
Yeah, we're good.
Whoa! You're so good at not
this.
interrupting me. 2 weeks ago, it was announced that Rian Johnson would be getting his own Star Wars trilogy to deal with because of how much confidence Disney has in him, which is great news.
In The Last Jedi, which is 2.5 hours long.
And was released how many months, or finished how many months before release?
3. Finished post-production. It was locked down in the can 3 months before it came out.
Okay,
So
what we're gonna
obviously
do...
Rian Johnson knows how to make a movie.
He knows how to make a movie. So what we're gonna do this week is Deon is gonna play the role of Graham Hollywood.
I'm not going to play the role of Graham
You're
Hollywood.
gonna be Graham Hollywood.
I am Graham Hollywood.
It's a pretty good Graham Hollywood
Is that a
voice.
Graham Hollywood voice?
I think
I think Graham Hollywood's more like, mind tricks don't work on me.
Oh yeah, you
Only
mean an anti-Semitic
microtransactions.
character.
Hey kids, it's me, Graham Hollywood.
Hey kids!
Hey kids, it's me.
He sounds like Mickey Mouse at this point.
Pretty much.
So Deon is gonna be Graham Hollywood,
Whose voice will change depending on whatever I feel is amusing at the moment.
and Marcus and I are gonna pitch to him what we think is most appropriate for Rian Johnson's Star Wars
This is
trilogy.
basically going to be the sexiest role play any of us have ever been involved in. I'm Graham Hollywood. You two are Rian Johnson. You're coming to me vulnerable.
You're
Exposing
sounding too much like
yourselves.
Graham Hollywood now, Deon.
I
Oh
am
god.
Graham Hollywood.
Oh dear god.
Graham Hollywood has many faces.
Many fingers and hands, apparently.
Ew. Yeah, and you're coming with your pitches, and I'm going to tell you which one I'm going to greenlight.
Okay. And I think seeing as Marcus has probably got the most together pitch.
Oh no, I don't.
All right. So
Okay.
you each get,
Well-
the rules are, you each get 10 minutes. I will listen to you uninterrupted. There's no interrupting of each other. Afterwards, I will tell you what my initial feeling is, what I feel should be greenlit, and then we will discuss, and you will try to change my mind, or try to reinforce my opinion. All right.
Got it.
Okay. So, how do we decide who goes first? Okay.
I say Marcus should go first,
Okay.
because he was the coy one, and I like that.
You're getting too into this role, dude. I'm starting to get worried for my safety here.
Okay.
Okay, Marcus.
Okay, so I'm gonna be quiet for 10 minutes, yeah?
I'm
Jesus
just
Christ, it's gonna be a first.
That's gonna be difficult.
It's gonna be hard. All right.
really difficult.
Okay, starting now.
Now,
Mr. Hollywood, thank you for taking the time of seeing me.
you're welcome. Welcome, Mr. Johnson.
Now, I had this idea for a movie trilogy. So, up until now, the Sith have only been just the bad guys. What if I told you that I can make a trilogy of movies explaining everything about the Sith where they currently are, and throw in a dark anti-hero story into it as well?
I'm intrigued.
So let me tell you about, and we can change the name, because the name is silly. The extended universe is non-canon anyway. Darth Bane.
All right, Darth Bane.
Yeah.
I'm not into these Star Wars so much, but I'm intrigued.
Okay, we can get someone, we have to get someone big to play him, right? I'm thinking physically big. I'm thinking your Tom Hardy or your Dave Bautista type,
All right, Tom Hardy playing someone called Bane. I'm liking this.
Yeah.
This sounds like dollars for some reason.
Right? Right? It's good.
All right, yeah,
Okay,
I'm on board.
Okay, so the thing about Darth Bane, right, is he finds out from a young age that he is strong with the Force. Paralleling the prequel trilogy with Anakin, right? Those made a ton of money. Let me tell you. They did, right? He immediately falls to the dark side. And this is where you find out more about the Sith, because he gets sent to the Sith academies on their planet. So we're exploring different planets as well. We're extending the merchandising on this.
I like how you think.
New planets. Those Lego people are gonna lose their fucking minds for this shit. So he goes to Korriban, right? This is the Sith planet. This is where they've got these big temples. Think Jeddah like in Rogue One, but like more evil looking. Like a bit darker, a bit more Nolan-y, if you will. So he goes there, he gets trained. At one point, he loses faith in himself, and he loses most of his powers. And he starts to train in secret from 2 different tutors, how to use the Force and how to fight with a lightsaber. Because the masters who were going to train were like, you're done, you're trash. We don't care about you." 2 different tutors who are enemies of each other. He's playing 2 sides. And then he also has his own rivals in the academy. He eventually
Sort
trains.
of a Harry Potter situation up in here.
You could think about it that way.
That's more money.
It's even more money. So he has a few rivals in this school. And even though this is Disney, right? We can go a little bit darker. You let me go a little bit dark on The Last Jedi.
Logan and Deadpool money.
Logan and Deadpool money. He actually, and we don't have to show it on screen, but he does end up killing his classmates, his biggest rivals. And this...
We killed children before, didn't we?
We did. We killed the younglings.
That's all right then.
Perfect.
Money.
So, he then comes back into the good graces of the masters. And through that, he gets access to their libraries. And this is where we get that nerd money, because he gets to go into the library. Think of the library like from Doctor Strange, right, where there's all these books and he can learn about everything. He
Not
learns,
so much money, Doctor Strange. No.
but the nerds will like it, and they'll keep coming back and back.
Okay.
You get that repeat dollar. Okay, so he learns a bit more about the Sith Order from the past, and he finds out through his teaching or through these books that they've been doing it wrong. The Sith. There aren't supposed to be that many. He is going to exterminate the Sith from within.
Why shouldn't there be so many?
Because there should only be a master and an apprentice, as it has been in the other Star Wars movies. The master has the power. The apprentice craves the power. Cut to black, end of the first movie.
That sounds like a power dynamic that Graham Hollywood would like.
Power.
We start the second movie where he finds an apprentice in secret.
Does he exterminate the Sith?
He
In that
does.
first one?
Not in the first one.
Not in the first one. So what's the third act climax?
The third act
Because
climax.
it can't just be him in a library. That's not much money.
Paging through books.
What's the third act climax?
I just need to...
with each page turn just da 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 da.
The climax of the third movie is where...
No, the third act.
Sorry,
of
the
the
third
first
act.
movie.
The third act of the first movie. You can get around this. What we see is their school, their academy, is under attack by the Jedi Order.
Trailers money.
Trailer money, and that bait and switch money, because you can advertise with the trailers that this is a movie about the Jedi when it's actually about the Sith. The Jedi are the bad guys in this movie.
Nerd money. No.
The nerds are gonna eat this up. So the third
Pizza
act of
Hut
the first
tie-in. No. Money.
So the third act climax for the first movie is a really long, I'm thinking like Avengers type of length, like 10-15 minute long, just lightsaber fight between these Sith and these Jedi. I mean, can you imagine the shot at night, right? You see a ship flowing down, right? And the ship lands, everything is dark. You see 2 figures get out a little bit of light. They look across the plains, and then just 300 red lightsabers start lighting up the darkness.
Oh, good trailer.
Good
trailer,
Good
much
shot
money.
for a trailer.
Good, much money.
All right. Then after the battle, Everyone's broken. The Sith Order is still around, but Darth Bane is seriously wounded.
Now while they weak, he must exterminate.
Exactly.
Ah, I see second movie money.
And this is also where he meets his apprentice, a young Jedi who came with them, a girl. A girl
Yes.
named Rain.
Very close to Daisy Ridley.
Yes.
Maybe confusing for consumer.
Look, that's what the name is in the book, okay? We can change it. We can
What
change it. It
book?
doesn't have to
Book,
be Rain.
book bad. No, not much money.
We could change her name, and that's the end of the first movie, right? The second movie... Quick pause, how am I doing on time?
Yes.
Not much time left, have you?
Okay, second movie is all about Rain, who has now been given a Sith name, dark-haired girl.
Mm-hmm.
We can cast a young, pretty actress in the role, an unknown, a model type,
Money.
right? Give it a good feminist message, because that seems to be doing well these days.
Money.
I'm being very cynical. I'm very sorry to all my Star Wars
Are you
fans out
talking
there.
to Graham Hollywood? Money.
And the second movie is basically their adventures and him trying to learn enough to take down the rest of the Sith by going to other planets, other places where Sith temples and Sith crypts are. He actually finds Darth Revan, and who is a very old, very powerful Sith's tomb, and learns more about the Sith and how the rule of two, one master, one apprentice, is how the Sith should be. And that just strengthens his resolve to go back and eliminate the Sith. The second movie is I almost want to say like a fun adventure movie, like the Indiana Jones type, where the two of them are learning and planet hopping, getting into troubles, getting into hijinks. Think Han and Chewie, but it's not Han and Chewie, right? Bit darker, that's the vibe we're going for. The two of them learning about each other, becoming friends, him teaching her, and her realizing at the end of the movie that she is going to have to kill her master.
Conflicting tones, I sense. Less money. Continue. Third film.
Third film is... Sorry, I just need to read the script.
Rian Johnson, time is money.
Stop it. Okay. The end of the second movie is where he goes back and destroys the Sith.
Why does he destroy the Sith?
Because of the rule of two. It's the movie title.
Why not just kill one of his two masters?
There are still many Sith left. He goes...
Why not just subdivide them into groups of two?
Because there can only be two.
Two Sith
Yes.
in the world.
In the universe.
Highlander money.
Exactly.
Christopher Lambert you must cast.
Yes. And also during the second movie, they find pockets and they kill any Sith they come across.
Just in their coats.
Yes.
just they just discovered. Oh shit! I can put things in this. Good. Continue. More intrigued am I now.
Okay. So then at the end of the second movie, the Sith are gone. There's only the two of them left. The master and the apprentice. The way it was written, the way it should be. The rule of two. The third movie in the trilogy opens.
Sith Ewoks.
We can put in Sith Ewoks if that's what you want, Graham.
I don't, but I'm glad you are compliant.
Okay, sorry. So,
Rian Johnson, not very professional, are you?
okay, so basically, look, there's a lot of shit here, okay?
And he is the more professional Rian Johnson clone of the two.
The third movie is all about the girl, Rey. It's her story now. It's been 20 years since the Sith have been eliminated. Darth Bane is still Dark Lord of the Sith. She is still the apprentice.
Lots of butt shots. Money.
She now craves more than anything, more power. She wants to become the master. So the whole movie is her finding a young apprentice of herself to train in secret, going around the galaxy, finding information, because Darth Bane is looking for a way to become immortal, to rule the Sith.
Would Darth Bane not know that she is doing this through, say, being powerful in the Force?
You bring that up. It's a good question. But as Alfred Hitchcock said, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
This is movies.
Fix it. But these are geeks. Geeks need geek money. Nom, nom, nom.
We
Tear a movie
can
apart, they
trick
do.
them.
Oh, yes.
We did it before. We tricked them into liking Batman v Superman.
We make them watch Transformers. We do. Money.
Why is Graham Hollywood an evil Yoda?
Okay.
Wondering about this too, have I? But feel right it does. Oh, no. Silence on the Rian Johnson clone.
So she
Home
has to
stretch.
She has to go find more information to get immortality, the secret to immortality for Darth Bane, while he at the same time is also searching for the same thing. But while she's out searching and he's focused on other things, she finds an apprentice, trains him in secret, comes back realizing that the truth to immortality is out there. If she doesn't kill her master now, she never will have a chance. She comes back to where he is, and she very coldly, I've thought of this line, "Master, your time has come." And she ignites the lightsaber, and we do a whole homage to Akira Kurosawa, where it's just the two of them like two ancient samurai ready to fight. We have one exception. We'll get the guys who choreographed John Wick, right? Right? We'll bring them in. They can choreograph this fight specifically. It'll be the best looking sword fight ever put to
Pencil
film.
fight.
Lightsaber fight that they've ever seen on film. And those guys are cheap. They work on a low budget. You know that. I know you like that. And it ends, and this is my favorite thing, it ends almost open-ended. See, she wins.
More trilogies. More money.
She wins. But what you've learned through the movie is the way that the Sith become immortal is they transfer their essence, their souls, into new bodies.
That's why she got the apprentice. Wondering was I why she would basically commit suicide.
So,
You wish to be my apprentice. Come murder me.
pretty much. So, at the end, when the fight is over, Darth Bane lies there, dead. But her arm starts twitching uncontrollably. And it stops. And she turns to her apprentice and says, "One day, you will have to face me like I faced my master." Fade to black. Trilogy over.
Very good, Rian Johnson clone. Much money I sense in you. All right, other Rian Johnson clone.
If we could just
Impressive.
pause for a second, like the Darth Bane trilogy is actually a really fucking cool
No, I know.
trilogy of
Yeah.
books.
I bought them for Martina. I still have to read them myself.
They're really good.
Yeah, no. Other Rian Johnson. Impress me, you must.
Good evening, Mr. Hollywood. Thank you for taking time out of your expensive molesting schedule to see me.
Ah, you are welcome. Give me pitch.
Now, what do the fans like more than anything else?
Merchandise.
Merchandise
Boobs.
and cameos.
Cameos. Nom, 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 nom.
Now, my idea for this trilogy that you have so gracefully given me.
Not given yet.
Well, that you've given the original Rian Johnson.
Give an opportunity to pitch, I have.
Okay, so my pitch is for a Thrawn trilogy.
What am a Thrawn?
Now,
Sound like book.
Thrawn did come from the books, but we threw him away. But the fans caused so much uproar that a new book had to be written. Yes, and we had to put him in the Clone Wars series.
Yes.
So
Cancel it, I did.
Wait, no, the Rebels series.
Rebel series. Yes.
Yes, because that's
Much money.
That's how much fans demanded more Thrawn. Now, who Grand Admiral Thrawn is a Grand Admiral in the Imperial Navy, the only high-ranking officer who is not an alien. I mean, who is an alien in this very xenophobic and quite frankly racist Imperial system. Now, what we could do for these 3 movies is we could follow the 3 different arcs that he has. First, his rise in the Chiss army, then his rise in the Empire, and then his attempt to bring the Empire back to glory after the destruction of the Death Star.
Is he bad or good?
He is, well, works with the Imperial... Sorry, Graham, I didn't mean to get facetious there.
Don't read book, don't watch movie, just want money.
He is bad. He is a bad guy. But
Maybe not such good money.
But as you know, I, Rian Johnson Clone 2,
Yes.
am very good at making villains likable.
Likable villain. Much
Likeable,
money.
bankable villains.
Terminator
And
1.
because Thrawn's arc ranges from before the Clone Wars till long after the death of Palpatine and Darth Vader, you have lots of room for cameos there.
Cameo money. Nom, 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 nom.
So the first film would take place around the time of the Clone Wars. And it would follow Thrawn from his humble beginnings, where he meets and befriends a smuggler, much like Han Solo.
Is Han Solo?
No, but because we've thrown it out of the canon, we can make him related to Han Solo.
Okay. Cheap cameo tactic. Money, money.
Solo father.
Now, this
like your
smuggler
thinking.
by the name of George Cardass. Cardass? George Cardass. He
So close to Lucas, methinks. Sorry, I'll stop now.
he teaches Thrawn the language of the universe, the Galactic Common, I believe it's called.
English it is.
English it is. Galactic Common for the nerds. We need the nerds.
Nerd money.
And he tells him this Chiss man about
That's their word.
he tells them about droids and Jedi, information that the Chiss never had. They did not know about the existence of these creatures. So he tells Thrawn about these races, and Thrawn then uses that information to quickly rise through the ranks in the Chiss army, making him the youngest admiral ever.
How they not know about Jedi?
They are from the unknown sectors of space. So,
If Clone Wars would not just see Jedi?
it's at the time of the Clone Wars, but not related to the Clone Wars.
I like.
However, later in the movie... Actually, let me give you my 3 acts of the movie. Leading up until his exile from the Chiss army. So, the first act would be Thrawn's prologue. It will open up on a shot of this army conquering planets upon planets upon planets mercilessly, and this army is the army known as, where did I put this in here? This army is the army known as the Yuuzhan Vong, And they are going to be our main threat throughout the trilogy. They're going to be a looming danger in the distance that is always coming closer. Prophesized
Nemesis.
Nemesis. Yes. Drive.
Capcom money.
Now, the first act then, after that little prologue, would be Thrawn's rise in the Chiss army. The second act would be him, after having met the smuggler and after getting this information, going out on scouts for the army and bumping into somebody by the name of Kinman, who is at the time not Emperor Palpatine, but Palpatine. Trade Federation Palpatine. He works for him, and he is on a mission to take down the spaceship that is traveling to check out the outside space.
Why?
So that's what I'm getting to. Thrawn questions him, and the reason they're after this vessel is because this vessel, they fear, is going to lead these Yuzon Vong back to the known galaxy. And they want to stop that. Also, there do happen to be 20 Jedi on board, which Palpatine is not a fan of. So he wants them out of the picture. So our third act would then be Thrawn going to confront this outgoing vessel. I can't remember the name of it, but we can make it whatever we want. It's not canon anymore.
Boat.
You make boat face.
Space boats.
Space boat. And on that vessel is a headstrong Jedi who, by the end of the battle, in his rage at losing to Thrawn, a regular Chiss with no powers, turns him to the dark side. And then he's killed immediately.
Explain once more.
He turns to the dark side, because if we kill a Jedi that is on the light side, people aren't going to be too happy. But if this Jedi then turns to the dark side and dies, it feels like comeuppance to the audience, and they get behind it. But because of his rash actions, Thrawn is then exiled from the Chiss army and sent to a planet. This is where it would end. Sent to a planet to live out the rest of his days. Movie 2. Movie 2 will begin with Thrawn surviving on this planet.
Much time you have not left.
Movie 2 will begin with Thrawn on this planet, when an Imperial vessel comes down to scout for a smuggler that they want to catch. Thrawn tries to steal their ship and ends up being caught. But because of how well he did, he gets taken to meet the Emperor. So Act 1 would be him rising up in the ranks of the Empire. Act 2 would be him forming a relationship with Palpatine, and because of the timing of it, doing errands for Darth Vader.
Money, 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 money.
The best cameo.
My tendrils are erect.
And then the third act of this movie would be the battle on the moon of Endor and the eventual destruction and death of Vader and Palpatine, throwing it into disarray and leaving a cliffhanger that people want to see the end of in Act 3.
Death Star?
Big shooty ball moon.
Money, nerd outrage. Money, nerd outrage.
You can sell more Lego Death Stars.
Money, 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 money.
Why print more Lego figurines when you could just use the old ones again?
Old molds, new money.
And then the third movie would be the Empire is now in disarray. So it's Thrawn putting the Empire back together and trying to fight the rebels. But the entire time throughout these three movies, we get reminders of the looming threat. The looming threat of that army that we saw in the prologue of episode 1. Well, movie 1. Sorry. No. Oh God. Okay. And those Yuzon Vong will be the main antagonists of Act 3 and will cause our hero villain to have to team up with the rebels to fight them together.
Neat sidekick your protagonist does.
His sidekick is his bodyguard that is from the race of essentially slave assassins that Darth Vader would have given him in movie 2.
Entertaining how?
Quippy.
Endearing how?
He's quippy. He's got lots of quips. And because he's fighting Jedi a lot of the time, Thrawn can get himself a hold of these little creatures called the Isalamiri, which look like little lizard things that can stop the Force. And those will be adorable.
Oh.
And he will have one with him all the time.
Sidekick race. What race? Sidekick.
The sidekick will be a part of the race called the Nogri.
How look?
Nogri are basically big, bulky, bluish kind of people who carry lots of weapons on them.
Can make toy?
Yes, easily. Can make lots
good
of
money,
toys.
Money.
But your main
Need
toys...
sidekick. Need sidekick.
Yeah.
Make Twi'lek.
Twi'lek?
The
Oh, yes. The Jedi hunters.
the Twi'leks, man, with the giant, the hot aliens, man.
The sexy aliens.
Sound money.
Sidekick can be a Twi'lek, which is essentially a sexy alien.
I like. Butt alien, butt boobs.
Yes, alien butts and boobs.
Money.
And then I've got for you some great titles for these. The first one could be called Thrawn, Heir to the Empire.
Geeks know Thrawn?
Geeks love Thrawn.
Yeah, money.
Thrawn is almost the most demanded of the external, like, the now referred to as Star Wars Legends universe.
Oh.
He is a fan favorite, as they say. Money, yes. Big money, Graham. Big money. Sorry, that's a little... The second book... the second movie... The second movie could be called Thrawn Dark Force Rising. As he goes up in the Imperial Army. And the third movie could be called The Last Command, as it ends with Thrawn's eventual death. Because he is the bad guy, we can't have him surviving.
True is true. Such good pitch, much structure, possible too much. Time to decide.
But the thing is... Oh yeah, one of those. The thing is that because it spans across that range, and because they have to team up with everybody to defeat these Yuuzhan, they need the help of the last remaining Jedi.
Jedi good money.
And who is that? Luke Skywalker.
Whom am the Lukes? Does fans like Lukes?
Fans love Lukes.
I'm still young, so can be same actor.
Cannot be same actor, but as we've seen, that is not a problem. Look at Moff Tarkin.
CGI, yes.
Yeah.
Fans no happy though. Worry
We
I
can-
am. Possible disrespect. Fan nerd boys masturbate too much. Worry I am about cameos when actors are alive but old.
Well, we can always make him look like a younger Jeff Bridges, like they did.
Money.
We have the
Guardians
technology
of
to make him
Galaxy
look
2
like a
money.
young Jeff Bridges.
Or
Acceptable.
even a young Michael Douglas.
No, they
Now.
all look like young Jeff Bridges.
Now,
Been through this.
Rian Johnson Clone 1. What think you of Rian Johnson Clone 2's idea?
As Rian Johnson's second clone, I can say that Rian Johnson Prime is excellent at making people root for the villain. And making villains quite likable.
Both movies. Villain.
Both movies villains, but that's villains against villains aside from the Jedi fight in the beginning. Whereas this is villains against the rebels.
Worry with yours, Rian Johnson Clone 2, is that fans want clean break. Or at least say they do.
Fans don't want... The fans say they want clean break.
Quote unquote.
But the viewers, the viewing public, want stuff that's connected. They want
yes.
stuff that's familiar.
Want see, will Yoda be?
Yeah, Yoda will definitely be there.
Money Yoda money. Is Yoda in yours? Clone 1.
Yoda's old enough to be in mine.
Young Yoda. such adorable.
Young
Big
Yoda.
Puss in Boot eyes.
Young,
Money, 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 money.
young Yoda. Young Yoda in Jedi Assault Force.
Young hothead Yoda.
Young hothead Yoda.
yes.
One of few survivors who makes it off the planet.
Likey like. Money, money.
Of course, apologies to any Star Wars fans, we're bending the rules here. Yoda would actually be born like 200 years after the events.
Not matter.
Not matter.
It doesn't matter to Graham Hollywood.
No,
Damn
it
it.
doesn't matter to
Graham
Graham
Hollywood, no care. Adorable, even if Yoda ancestor, Yoda father.
Yes.
Cute.
I think
But-
Rian Johnson too made a good pitch. I'm trying to talk like Graham Hollywood. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got us both like Graham Hollywood talking.
It's infectious.
It really is infectious.
I liked Ryan Hollywood too, aka Jason's pitch.
Ryan Hollywood, we relate. Yes, Hollywood.
Ryan
Steve.
Ryan Hollywood.
Ryan
we-
Hollywood.
we-
Steve.
God damn
Oh
it!
god, you've just confirmed it. I'm getting it. Yes, nepotism in Hollywood.
No, honestly, I like the pitch. I like
How we doing
Thrawn.
for time?
15 minutes. You have to
Okay.
decide.
I like Thrawn, but I honestly think it's too connected to the whole Skywalker saga. With
I mean,
the
that's why
direct-
Rogue One didn't do too well, right? Because it was really connected.
No, I'm just thinking here. Personally, I don't want to see more of things that's tangential to the Skywalker saga.
No, but the viewing public does.
The viewing public can suck a bag of dicks. They're
no,
not baby.
viewing public money. Graham Hollywood feed.
And the thing is,
Tendrils erect.
with this, with this one, we can just sell them Darth Vader Legos again.
I like idea, but impinge on longevity of IP possibly due to oversaturation and overfamiliarity.
That is true.
Mine's newer, older. You get a whole, from a marketing perspective, you get a whole new range of toys and things.
But it's unfamiliar and scary.
Cannot pitch from Clone 1 somehow, because pitch from Clone 1 feels like one movie stretched to 3. Can it not be recurring flashbacks in Clone 2's films? History.
We could shoehorn it in there. The Sith don't play a big part, but the Jedi do.
History of Sith. Very interesting. Much money. Much dark and evil. Like Batman.
Yes.
How about this? There is a shenanigan in which, to help out Darth Vader, Thrawn must dress up in Mandalorian armor, much like fan favorite Boba Fett, to help take down a band of criminals.
Sound good, but sound more like TV series. Sound like one-off for Sweeps Week.
Look what I
I
tried to do with...
appreciate originality. Well, originality bullshit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
technically
sure,
not
Graham.
canon.
You appreciate originality.
Almost kept straight face, I did. Like the idea of going far back, but your movie, one movie, not trilogy.
Is trilogy.
No, is one movie, feels like maybe two. Not enough detail in the structure of the 3 acts for each one, and stakes and climaxes for each to be 3.
Okay, but that is my failure as a pitch man.
That is your failure. And you have failed me for, I think this is possibly the 3rd time, and I won't take many more of them.
No.
I'll only take another 30 or 40 more of those failures.
Yeah, I didn't have time to prepare everything, but yeah.
Yours I like, but worry I am. Will must focus test to find out whether viewing public really want clean break, as say they do, or continue to be enshrined in the Skywalker saga.
Leak a little thing quickly, Graham Hollywood. Just a little, get somebody to leak it on Twitter briefly that a Thrawn trilogy might be in the works. And watch the fans wet their pants.
Wet pants money?
Money. We do own the pants industry. It's the only part that we don't own. Ouch.
Personal taste. Possibly Sith origins. Very dark. Very cool. But more money will yours make, I feel.
Yeah, it probably like I'll say that the Thrawn trilogy would make all the fucking money.
Thrawn trilogy would.
But
so much
Thrawn
money.
is such a fucking boring character. I can't.
That's
stand
why
him.
I ask about sidekicks.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not canon anymore. The new canon I'm ignoring for convenience at the moment.
Yeah, as am I.
But there's no canon. We can literally give him any sidekick we
If
want.
changed too much, will not fans who will piss pants be then angry?
Well, the thing is, he does
We'd
in
already
each of
have
the
their
books
money.
have a different kind of sidekick.
Say again?
In each of the 3 books, there is like a partner that he has.
Sidekick can change. Thrawn maybe not change too much from what the hardcore fans want.
Yeah, no, Thrawn will be Thrawn, but he deals with...
Boring he is, I'm told. You never mentioned this in your pitch that Thrawn is boring.
Because he's not boring.
How he not boring?
Remember Ender's Game?
Yes.
Was Ender boring?
Yes.
I'm asking Graham Hollywood.
Not that much money.
Damn it!
Look, that's just but yeah.
Yeah.
I
Thrawn,
think
Thrawn is a tactician through and through. He fights more through wit rather than explosions, which I guess isn't really great for Graham Hollywood.
instinct, though, for Graham Hollywood would be do what you say, leak. Fan goodwill means money. Fan currently feel, same thing over and over. I've checked YouTube comment section before. But say Thrawn Trilogy, fans happy, money spend. New Darth Vader figures.
New Darth Vader figures. And don't forget all the little plushies of the lizard guys.
Lizard guy plushies.
Cute little lizard guy. They're like cats, but lizards.
Such money. Such money.
Make Porg money.
What cute sidekicks have you, clone number 1?
Porgs.
Porgs have already been used.
Last Jedi porgs. Not sure of how much money yet.
Graham, may I talk to you man to man?
Do.
You already know those porgs are gonna make so much goddamn money that your cocaine mountain will grow by 3 feet at least. At the base.
Base is 200 meters.
Exactly.
Cocaine mountain.
It'll be so much cocaine, Michael Bay won't be able to finish it.
Bullshit.
I feel like Porgs is a cheap out. You need a
Not
new
feel
series.
not feel like fit with the rest of your film.
Yeah, no,
it does.
Yeah, where would the Porgs be in your film? Why would the Porgs?
They would be roasting. People
That's
would
not
be eating the
cute.
porgs.
No.
You don't want to
no,
kill the cute
no,
things. That's what the
no.
Ewoks want.
Okay, fine. There is
Alright.
no.
I have made my pronouncement. You have made your arguments. Both good. Yours, badass and cool. But probably one film, maybe with sequel if successful. Your film sound like Trilogy, though possibly with boring protagonist. Must edit protagonist. But cool sidekick. So, what we do, your movie, first installment, next year, your movie, standalone, Origins of the Sith. If your movie profitable, then it will be alternate with his. If not, it will be Origins of Wookiee Porgs, the movie.
Thank you, Graham Hollywood.
Pronouncement over.
In all honesty, what I would like is, like, way in the future, Force is gone as we know it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just this energy that's floating around that some people are kind of, you know how you got the Force-sensitive people?
Yeah.
They can't control it directly like
Graham
Jedi
Hollywood's
or
left, by
Sith.
the way. He saw himself out. Time's money, so he doesn't have
Yeah.
time to say goodbye.
There were some people that needed molesting,
Yeah, he's off to just be a sexual deviant.
and so like they can't control it directly like Jedi or Sith, but they can somewhat influence it.
You're just describing thetans in Scientology.
No, what I am actually describing is C.F. Friedman's Cold Fire trilogy.
Ah,
Okay, I have not read that, but my feeling, I don't know, Martina's feeling as well, is I would really like to see the future
Yeah.
of the Star Wars universe. I love the idea of going back, but
it's
you
like way back.
yeah, that's the thing is you have to go way back. I want to see like the origins. I want to see Sith origins. I want that shit. I think the most financially viable and the best way to buy back hardcore fan goodwill, if any needs to be bought back, is definitely Thrawn, because that's what I've seen everywhere. But what I personally would like to see for myself
future.
would be the far future.
Yeah, agreed. But I think given Rian Johnson's penchant for making villains like likable, it seems possible that the Thrawn trilogy is.
I mean that I can see the headline and I can see the internet exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it happening, and I would be sad because, honestly, like I said, I find Thrawn to be a boring character, and I would much rather see an origin of the Sith, or
I would love to see the
Yeah,
origin of a
that
Sith
would be
cool.
as I would love to see that as a standalone film that doesn't have to be a trilogy but can get a sequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, if we're
Because-
getting an origin of the Sith, I don't want Rian Johnson on it.
why not?
Well, I think he deals better with more towards the mainline stuff and things like that. I think for an origin of the Sith, you're going to need something that's far more action heavy than anything Rian Johnson's done before. Granted, I haven't seen episode 8 yet, so I'll know more after that. But given what he's done before this, the origin of the Sith doesn't feel like it would be best done by him.
Yes, but you're forgetting an integral part of the announcement. He's been giving the reins for the trilogy.
No, but that's
Yeah.
why that's
He doesn't
He's
need.
writing and directing the first
No,
one.
yeah, he
well,
doesn't.
he's developing the trilogy
Yeah.
as an.
He-
I think
yeah.
they've learned their lesson
Yeah.
of having a vague idea of what the overarching story is, but focusing on a movie by movie. I think
Yeah.
they've learned we need
Like,
to
he
plot out
doesn't-
the trilogy
like,
Yeah.
ahead of
Yeah,
time.
he can pick a director for an origin of the Sith.
Honestly, like
Yeah,
my
that is
feeling is like that's the kind of thing where they could really go dark, and I think that sort of full tonal shift would be best as a standalone. And I think it would be so fucking cool, and
It goes way dark.
people would love it. But it's also the kind of thing that they'd see as a risk. Obviously not for people like us, but just
Yeah.
for like your real mainstream audience. And I think they'd see it as a risk, so they might do it as a one-off kind of thing. And I think it would be massive.
Yeah.
And I think it would then get a sequel.
Yeah.
And with then the announcement, the day of it coming out, they would be like, cool, this is going to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what- but I
It's-
don't think I doubt we're gonna get that announcement like that's what Rian Johnson is doing. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound like the safe bet.
Yeah.
And Graham Hollywood, and neither's not here. I can say what I want. That guy likes safe bets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially Mickey Graham Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, even if you take Disney out of the equation, even Lucasfilm, even if they weren't under Disney, if they just changed leadership, they would have learned from the prequel trilogies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they would learn hey, a massive total trilogy of tonal shift, that sort of shits on old canon, is not a good idea.
Yeah, you want the standalone ones to do the tonal shift, but you
Yeah.
want the
And I think that's the thing is they need to be. I think if we've got this Rian Johnson trilogy, I think they can finally make good on the promise of the standalone films as being real. I mean, I love Rogue One,
Yeah.
but I would like to see something
Them
like
properly
that.
stand alone.
Yeah.
Like properly, just it's in universe. They recanonize it.
Yeah,
Because
Solo
it's so
is
cool
also not going to
because,
be properly
like,
standalone.
throughout all of the Star Wars movies, it's something that I was always wondering about. Why is there always only one master and one apprentice?
Yeah.
Why is there only ever two Sith?
I mean,
it's because of Darth Bane.
Yeah, I mean, you say like, you know, Darth Bane, the rule of two, or whatever. Like that movie will buy a shit ton of hype.
Yeah.
And will be like.
But
I mean,
Graham was right though. It doesn't sound like a trilogy.
Yeah, at least not the way that.
The
Clone
way I pitched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fair.
Oh, you just gave away to the listeners that you were the clone.
Oh
You
gosh.
idiot, Marcus.
At least clone number 2 is real.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, cool. But I mean, those are some damn good pictures. Good job.
Okay.
Well, yours felt really like well worked out in terms of just in an individual film structure. Like yours
Well, it was
feels like
basically
yours feels like shut up, don't mention books. Yeah, yours feels like the more likely. Yours feels like the more badass, Marcus. Sorry, I realize people can't see me point.
Yeah.
And we have 40 seconds.
Okay. We don't have any recommendations this week. Apologies.
No recommendations. Our only recommendation is to get hyped for episode 8 in the meantime.
It's
Follow-
a few weeks away.
Yes. Follow us on all social media things, including Marcus's Escape from Mount Backlog.
It's a YouTube channel. I play video games. I'm playing Neo. I love it. Bye.
We're gonna go get Krabbies. Cheers.
Woo-wee.